'Twas the day after Christmas and we are making burgers on the Blackstone. Hope everybody had a very Merry Christmas. I hope Santa Claus treated you well for all who celebrate. And we're making burgers, like I just said. What I want to do is show you a couple things that I got off of my Blackstone Griddle accessory list, and then we'll make some burgers. Follow along, leave a comment below if you received any items, or maybe you're a first-time griddle purchaser or receiver of a griddle for Christmas. Have you had a chance to unbox it, put it together, give it its maiden voyage, and actually get cooking with it? Just I'd be curious to see who all is new to the griddling community. And if you're a seasoned griddler, what are some new accessories that you've gotten, and what are some things that you still would like to get? Three of the most notable things that I got off of my Blackstone wish list include this really cool flashlight. If you're in a spot that doesn't have a lot of light, whether it's out on a deck or in a garage where the garage door itself covers the lights, this handy dandy light is perfect. 3 light settings, and it really helps illuminate the griddle surface. I've got this side light in my garage to help shed some lights on some things, and here's a good before, first, second, and third settings. That puts off a lot of light. It's a nice rechargeable. It's got a micro USB with rechargeable batteries inside. I haven't used it yet. This is my maiden voyage. So far, it seems like it's gonna work pretty well. Next up on the list of things I've received, I've been wanting this for a while. So this is the Blackstone XL griddle basting cover. As you can see, it can cover up pretty much half of the griddle surface. So this is a 42-inch griddle, and you can fit a lot of stuff under there. My other griddle basting covers are much smaller, that only cover about 1/4 of the section. So now, depending on what I'm cooking, different things, whether it's some vegetables or whatnot, I can separate it and have enough to cover the entire surface. Now, the last cool accessory that I received was the 2-pack of the Blackstone carrying trays. What I use is some of the Reynolds parchment paper in pre-cut sizes. I just to keep them cleaner, put those down. As you can see, I've got buns here with mayonnaise ready to go so that we can put these on after we cook our burgers to toast them. These serving trays are nice, they're stackable and easy to clean up. Those are I would say that the top 3 things that I received for Christmas are as follow: the serving trays, the griddle light, and then the big boy, the XL basting cover. All right, that's enough of the accessories. Let's check our temperature. Just over 400 degrees. That's gonna be perfect to get a nice sear and crust on the edge of the burgers when we throw those down. All right, get some oil on here. And then let's throw down our patties. But first, we gotta season our meat. What I like to use on burgers is this campfire grilling dust from Weaver's Dutch Country Seasonings. They are local here in Northeast Ohio in the Amish country area. So I'll just go one by one, spread that, put it down. So we put the seasoned side down, and then we can go and dust over top of it. Making a little bit of a mess, but it'll be all right. So that's for the wife and kids. My favorite is the Bearded Butcher's Blend Seasoning Black. It's deep and dark, uses coffee, molasses, and it's more of a full, robust flavor. Perfect for steaks, burgers, roasts, game meats, and so much more. Honestly, you can put this on anything, and I like to go pretty liberal with it. It's a fantastic seasoning. Yeah, just put a lot on there. No such thing as over seasoning when you've got this black seasoning. So, since I'm in the maiden voyage with my new accessories, we'll see how this light holds up. Not sure how much of the oils and grease get up onto it. Might need some washing and some cleaning here and there. But, yeah, we'll see how it goes. From the side profile, you can see all of the smoke and grease popping up onto it. It's pretty simple, doesn't have a lot of moving parts. I think it should be easy to wipe off and be good to go for future cooks. Getting some nice close-ups. Burgers are simple. The most basic thing you can cook on a Blackstone. My God, do they taste good. Here we are with all of the lights off, except for my normal garage light. Let's take a look to see. It's hard on the camera since the lens lets in so much light. Here's without the flashlight, level 1, 2, and 3. That really adds a lot of light. Again, if you're in a low light situation, this LED flashlight is pretty solid. And then I'll go ahead and wipe off my spatula so that I'm not cross-seasoning my burgers. After flipping them is when I like to put on the cheese. We have provolone as our cheese of choice for the evening. Gavin doesn't like cheese, so that will be our cheeseless option for the evening. Even though the kid likes mac and cheese quesadillas, grilled cheese, kids will be kids. By the time that cheese melts down, we should be rearing to go. For me, I like to see some blood. Even though it's not blood, it's nice to see that red tenderness in the middle of the burger. Letting that cheese melt down is really gonna make it crispy around the edges. And texturally, with having toasted buns and some of that cheese getting crispy around the edges, it really makes for a nice texture when you're biting into them. Since I prefer more of a medium rare, I'm gonna take my patties off and then allow for some extra time for everybody else's to get closer to medium. Even though I've had it a while, this is my Roosevelt's Grill Sergeant apron that you can find from roosevelts.com. They specialize in, I would say their most popular line of clothes is a button-up shirt with many different partnerships and licenses that you can get. They do make a pretty fine apron as well that has some nice pockets, and this is a beverage holder that I like to use for my infrared thermometer so that I can get some nice temperature, constantly checking the surface for the perfect temperature. There's also this bottle opener on the thingy, and it's my go-to when it comes to an apron to keep the greases and all of that stuff from spilling back onto my shirt. Okay, enough of the apron business. Let's get these patties off. Them are beautiful. And we'll just go and clean this surface up a little bit. What I'm going to be doing next is just throwing down some buns to get some buns toasted. Really cut down the heat. I don't need much at all. The residual, you know what, at this point you can even cut the heat altogether. We're just really looking for the residual heat on the surface to get those buns nice and crispy. Now that the griddle is still hot, well over 300 degrees, we have our burners off. we're gonna throw down our buns. Again, I just took Hellmann's mayonnaise, buttered or mayonnaised each of the sides, and we're just gonna toss these down and let them get nice and crispy. So from here, all I'm gonna do is just flip them, see what they look like, see how much is crispy, tap them down a little bit, just so that the centers aren't concave and that they can get a nice and even toasting. Let's see if I lift this guy up a little bit. This is very hard to do with a camera. There's a good profile to it. A couple minutes have passed, and I think we're good to go. That is what we're looking for right there. So I'm just gonna take these and as best as I can, one-handed. I will say one of the advantages of these serving trays is that it's just a one-piece plastic. There are no lips or grooves that can retain water, so there should be easier to clean up. I've been using regular cookie sheets, metal cookie sheets, but since those are kind of a rolled steel or a rolled metal, it's easy for water to get up in there and collect moisture and even rust those out over time. Those are beautiful. I highly recommend toasting your buns. Now we've got our buns toasted, we've got our patties ready to go, and as far as our griddle goes, there's really not a lot there that needs cleaned off. I already scraped off most of the burger residue. It's going to take me a good quick minute and a half to get the rest of it cleaned off and then oiled for the next time. The benefit of having a Blackstone is that they are very low maintenance, easy to clean, and don't have all of the nooks and crannies for grease to eat away at like other grills. So with that, I am going to call it quits for the night. It's time to eat. I hope you enjoyed following along. Out of the 3 griddle accessories, I used 2 of them. Our serving trays, the griddle flashlight. Perfect. They served their purpose. They worked well. Are there other options out there? Probably, but I tend to be, I shouldn't say brand loyal, but once I find a brand that I connect with, I like to see what other products they have, and they've served me well. And then the extra large basting cover, didn't need it for this cook. For when I'm making grilled chicken breast or various other things on the Blackstone, that XL cover, or Captain America's shield, as I like to think of it as, this thing will certainly serve its purpose. So if you followed along this far, I appreciate it. And it's time to go eat. I'm starved and this food looks good. Until next time, we'll see you later. Bonus footage. Here's the outcome of my burgers. I added some pickle, some tomato, lettuce on my properly toasted bun. Along with burgers and coming off of Christmas feast, we have some leftover pasta salad. And then we roasted broccoli, carrots, and potatoes. One thing that I'm excited about that I've yet to try is my favorite Christmas drink, or my favorite Christmas beer, is the seasonal Great Lakes Christmas Ale, which is basically a religion here in Northeast Ohio. This is the barrel-aged Christmas Ale, something that's, I would have to look on something to see how long it's barrel-aged and whatnot. Anyway, apparently it's supposed to be fancy and be a little bit more potent than the normal Christmas ale. I've got the appropriate Christmas ale glass, and I will do a nice hard pour. So let's give this Christmas ale a try. Pretty strong. 8.5%. No, I'm sorry. 8%. The regular Christmas ale is 7.5%. drink responsibly. Lastly, let's bite into this burger. I would say mine's closer to medium than I would normally have it. The flavoring from the seasoning and just the beef that we get is our own personal favorite. So just the blend of all of that together, it's still a really solid burger. Can't say that I could tell a big difference between this and the normal Christmas ale, but I would say from it being barrel aged, it does have more of a like a bourbon ale taste to it. Probably a lot of that's from being in a barrel. Anyway, I'm out.